Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new night point of view review. In front of us is the new Renault Clio 6th generation. Now, if I unlock the car, you can see the beautiful new headlights. You can also see the bottle lights. Now, this is the top spec eSpritAlpine. This is the sport trim. And inside is the top powertrain. It's the new latest generation of E-Tech full hybrid. Inside is the 1.8 it's a 4-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol producing 110 horsepower, and next to it is the electric motor with 50 horsepower, so combined is 160 horsepower. Automatic multi-mode, and 0 to 100 is 8.2 seconds, which we're going to test tonight. Top speed is 180. We're not going to test that since it's not legal in Croatia. Now you can see the beautiful side profile. The design of this car is amazing, and this is by far the best Clio so far. In eSpritAlpine we have 18-inch alloys. In lower trims you get 17, which give you more comfort. The suspension is comfortable enough, but you can feel it's an 18, but I'm pretty happy with the setup. Now let's check out the back here. You wouldn't say this is a Clio if you've never seen the car before on the road and you pulled it behind it. So amazing car. Let me just quickly open the cargo. So there's a nice warm light inside. There's bright street lights. You can see that. Cargo, so it was 309 liters, 1,094 when you knock down the seat. Gonna jump in. You get greeted by OpenRLink, powered by Google. Now we have the AI voice assistant, again powered by Google, but you can play with that when you buy the car. Now I'm just going to turn it on. Okay. Now I'm going to be driving in the comfort setting. There's Eco, and there is Sport, and there is Smart. So it runs between all the three modes that I've mentioned, but I might try that later. I'm going to stick to the comfort. I'm going to show you the 360 cameras, so excellent resolution. I do hope the screens are not too bright. I can see them in person very nicely. You have here the 360. This is super fast and super smooth. So this new infotainment is so good. Now also one of the great features from Renault, let me just share some light here. So you have here personal setting, and you can configure it and switch off the overspeed audible warning, limit change sound. These are mandatory now ADAS features in EU. And fadage alert, distraction alert. So there's a new camera here. You can see it infrared. Disabled. On the personal setting. How do you engage the personal setting? Just set here. When the car is on, it's going to be yellow. You press twice, it's off. My safety person selected. All those pesky annoyances are gone. For the rest of the drive at least. So thumbs up for Renault for adding this shortcut. Now you can hear the petrol. It's not too loud, but it's loud-ish. It's going to generate power to charge the battery at least to 50%, then it's going to switch off. But when you're driving, same. It's going to charge it to maybe a little bit more than half and disengage. Sometimes it's going to charge it to full. See, it just switched off, and you can see here EV. Now, let me show you my fuel consumption, and we're gonna head out. Look at this, 3.5 liters. This is an amazing little EV. It has a 1.4 kilowatt hour battery, and I've did here a 54 kilometer fuel consumption test, simulating open road, driving between 60 and 70, a little traffic, driving in the comfort setting, and my lowest was 3.3. 3.5 is crazy good. I've driven like 80% in an EV mode. The rest was petrol. My fuel consumption, fuel range was 390, and I even gained 10 back since the car recalculated. Okay, push to drive. I'm in the B. I was driving my fuel consumption test in the B mode. You can drive in D. It's not a huge difference. There's just a little bit less recuperation, but I prefer having the max recuperation for better efficiency. Now you can hear the pedestrian warning sound. So let me just lower the window a little bit down. So it will switch off once you pass a certain speed. Full stop. Now, overview is good in the car, and this is a small city hatchback, so really low, but it feels like a sporty car. 160 horsepower is a lot for this little city hatchback. So don't be like this cyclist or person on the bicycle. No lights and driving through the red light. It is a neighborhood, but still, you should always have some lights on. Luckily, he has those pedals illuminated. And not wearing a helmet. Okay, back to the review. Speed bumps. Yeah, the suspension is quite good. You can feel it's an 18-inch alloy, but for the most part, it feels slightly firm, but comfortable as well. So it's not super uncomfortable. You can feel the bumps, but it's not super harsh. It's just enough between comfortable and sporty. Now you can hear the petrol and you can see it. I just deliberately left it on fuel consumption so you can see it spikes, and when I'm driving it's usually like here it goes up to 10. It's rarely up in 20s unless you really floor it. So if you're driving this gently, and I imagine if you drive this in the eco mode, you can even get it to like 3 liters. It's crazy efficient. Now currently, I need to mention this because of the fuel prices. 180 in Croatia for a liter of gas. USA and Iran have made truce. Hopefully the peace will last, but at the current moment, the fuel prices are pretty high, and this car definitely helps. When the fuel prices were normal, this was also a great deal, but I just wanted to mention that. This car is also ideal so for city heavy traffic. You drive in the EV and you spend less fuel, but you don't have to worry about charging. Okay, I have a green light. I didn't see it because of this plastic around the camera on the front or around the middle mirror. So it speeds up very nicely and fast. The electric motor aids it. Aids the petrol, and you just easily start because of the electric motor, so you have that instant torque. So now I'm going to be driving like gently, and you can see it switched to EV mode. Now, if you're hearing this buzzing sound, it's something due to the asphalt. There was a military parade. There were, vehicles with tracks here, and since then it's just noisy. It's gonna stop at some point. So it's nothing wrong with the car or the tires. It's just the asphalt. Now, you also enjoy driving EV in this car, at least when it's driving electric, and maybe this will prepare you for the future when you might decide to switch fully electric. But until then, you don't have to worry about charging or any range anxiety. Now, The infotainment in this car is amazing. It's nice and fast. The screen isn't flickering on the camera, which is good news. So meaning they've went for the higher quality screen. The interior is nice and posh, but there's less Alcantara, there's more textile. I'm gonna pass this one. There's more of textile because, you know, you have to always have a little compromise. So in certain places you save a little bit and you invest more in other places, such as the better infotainment, which is faster. You can download apps, you can have directly Waze on the screen, and so on. Now, the brakes are not too aggressive, but I've been using the recuperation a lot. Like now, I just let go of the gas. The car is deaccelerating. It is also recharging. So let me switch to the different view here. So you have this minimal. You have here the eco. That's the energy flow. So you have here the charge and the power. You can see when I'm letting go now, it's charging. And then, of course, when I floor it, it goes to power. So if I go here, electric, you can see I've stopped now. I'm gonna leave it on. You can see the energy flow. You can also switch here. You have here the distance. You also have here the energy flow. You have the eco monitor, safety monitor, radio stations. You can have it without the trip computer on the side, and you can have the water temperature or the coolant. But I like to have it on the consumption for this video. And yeah, if you watch my review, you can see you can change the pedestrian warning. There's like 3 different sounds, which is nice. You can also have the screen on the standby. You can have a minimal display, so you have only the AC, and that's it. So if you're gently accelerating, you're still driving in an EV, so the petrol will not kick in. But if you floor it, it will. So you can have that extra momentum if you want. You can see now the car is using the battery, and then if I let go, it is recuperating back into the battery. And at some point when the petrol kicks in, you will see the petrol powering. Like now. Okay, there we go. It's white. And then recuperating. So you can see it also here on the energy flow on the screen there. Back to home screen. I like to have this like full map view. You can have here the radio shortcut. I realized I didn't play anything, so let me try to show some. Okay, so this is Croatian music, late hour. It's usually domestic music, but let me just see if I can have something more international while I'm waiting for the traffic light. I'm not sure. It's a late hour. Nope. I'm looking for another station. Actually, I have favorites here. There we go. Okay, no. So, but Harman Kardon speakers are pretty nice. The sound system is pretty good. So I would say, again, the best Clio so far. And this is the top spec. You don't need to go for the eSpritAlpine. There's also pure petrol. Now let's talk about the price. This is the one with all the bells and whistles. It has all the extras, such as 360 parking, winter package including front heated seats and front heated steering wheel, spare wheel in the back, and I think there's one more thing besides the red paint option. By the way, you have a green metallic color that's free, so that's amazing. Yeah, there's one more thing I forgot now, but yeah, but all together, the eSpritAlpine with the hybrid powertrain starts at 29,000 euros here in Croatia, but with all the bells and whistles, all the extras this car has, it is 31,500 here in Croatia. So this huge plastic is completely unnecessary. I can't see the traffic light. And that's the only drawback. Thanks to these small windows, you can see better in the roundabouts or pedestrians on the side, so it's not a big deal. Oh, they've fixed these manholes. They did cover them, now they've opened them. They're there, but they're flush. Okay, now I do like to have the map view. It also has included traffic, which is great. So, you know, when you're driving in the city, you can have overview which streets are busy, which are less busy. Now I'm going to switch to a sport mode now. I'm going to ruin the fuel consumption, but it's 3.7, still under 4 liters, which is just crazy good. Let's switch to sport. So the car comes alive, feels like a sports car. There's a little bit leaning if you're going really fast in the bend, but it's nice and stable. So I'm gonna ease down. Okay, this car is letting me pass to the left lane. It's just picking up speed fast. I honestly didn't even floor it all the way. I was like 90%, and then I floored it, but it's an amazing car with 160 horsepower. It's a nice small sports car. I mean, like for a city hatchback, it feels like a little sports car. Okay, I'm gonna drop it to 100. I don't think it's gonna switch back to EV. Let me just switch back to comfort. So this is about 100 kilometers per hour. We have winter tires. This is a rough asphalt, and there's some patches of smooth, so fairly okay road noise. It's good soundproof, more or less up to the speed limit of 130. So nothing too loud. You can mostly hear the rough asphalt. If you're driving 150, it's definitely louder. I'm gonna slow down. There's a faster car. I'm gonna let it pass, and then I'm gonna just floor it so you can see the performance. You can see the blind spot as well. Someone driving from UK. Wow, long distance, long journey. Yeah, the car is picking up speed nicely, and you're easily going above speed limit. So that was the demo. We're going to come back to a comfort setting. Now to engage the active assist select, I'm gonna set the speed to 110 and change the view. So you can have the car here, and you can see there's a lane selected. If I move the steering wheel to the right, look at this, it keeps me in the center, follows the bend, so it's a good lane assist and cruise control. You have the distance, you can reduce it. You can have it to minimal or the max distance. Even with a little demo here of speeding up, it's still, fuel consumption is still 4 liters. That's amazing. The battery has charged up as well. So when you're flooring the petrol, it's also charging up the battery at the same time, which is amazing. So the battery is always being full, more or less. And again, you don't have to worry about it at all. I have the long beam engaged. I didn't really realize if it did engage or not, but it was on. And see, now I've just tapped the brake to cancel the cruise control or the assistant, and I haven't touched the brakes at all. The car is obviously now, by the noise, downshifting, but it's also recuperating and fully charging the battery. This is the first time on my drive that I saw the battery fully charged. And it now switches to EV, and I can just enjoy for at least the next 2 kilometers EV drive. If I drive and accelerate gently, I can just keep my speed. See, I'm driving like 85 and it's quiet, petrol's off. You can see here on the fuel consumption, when the petrol comes on, it goes white up. So it's currently off and we're just driving electric, 90 kilometers per hour in EV mode. So it's no wonder this is so fuel efficient. I think so far this is one of the best hybrids I've tested. The Renault has really improved the E-Tech full hybrid. That's how they call it. That's the official name. Still driving electric, letting go of the gas, and recuperating. So bringing back juice into the battery. Yeah, the brakes, I've tested them now. They are a bit firm. They start early. Not too aggressive, but firm. This car also has a great U-turn, so it's perfect for European cities and even older ones for narrow streets. So as you can see now, I'm just cruising here and the petrol is like up to 10 here, so it's not in full load. And it's just going to be running and recharging the battery, and at some point it's just going to switch off. Sometimes it's going to charge it fully, sometimes, but if you interrupt it, if you let go of the acceleration, it will just eventually drop and switch to EV. So I'm gonna let go now, it switches to EV, and you can now gently keep driving forward in an EV, and it's going to eventually turn on when the battery gets low. Okay, I promised you 0 to 100. I don't think there's a launch mode, but hold the brake, floor the accelerator, and release the brake. Oh, it's pulling. Brake check. Okay, the brakes are good. I didn't really floor them all the way, but you can see that the hazards have engaged. They do not disengage automatically, so you do need to disable them. But the car really is such a nice ride. Now, time to wrap up the video. We're coming to an end. You can see fuel consumption is still 4 liters, despite the 0 to 100 test and all highway power demonstration. Now, full hybrid, I would advise you to go for the Techno trim, so it's much cheaper. This is of course very expensive, and people are going to argue the money you would save with the hybrid on petrol. So that's the extra you would pay for the full hybrid. But this is a more enjoyable car if you're not a petrol head. If you like the power and new tech, this is the setup I would go for, because it's very fuel efficient and it has the benefit of the electric motor and the battery when you need to speed up fast. So I would definitely recommend going for the e-tech, but just maybe if you're on a limited budget, go for the Techno trim. Is very well equipped. Small differences, the exterior looks almost identical. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I did mention a few things that imply, I guess, so you do have driving modes. You can change the steering comfort and the ride quality and the engine and all of these different settings. I haven't really tested the smart. I'm gonna do that off the camera later maybe, but that's new. So far, once again, the best Clio so far. I'm pretty grateful that I had a chance to test this. I did test the two latest previous generations, excuse me, and yeah, this is definitely by far the best Clio so far. And I'm talking also about the full hybrid, because I think this is my best fuel consumption I've got with the Renault's full hybrid system. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to just quickly do a walk around the car before it decides to switch off, so you can see the car in the garage. Again, new stunning design. It's a head turner, definitely. Looks amazing. Wow. If I wasn't into driving electric cars, I might have considered this. If I wasn't such a tall person, I definitely need an SUV for my next car. This is a little bit too low, but it's such a fun car. Maybe as a second car or car for your wife. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.